Hey, how's it going there, guys? Earthmaster here. September 7th, 2017, 1 p.m. on the west coast here. I'll jump in and do an earthquake video update in regards to Hurricane Irma. Still Category 5 hurricane. Very strong hurricane, and it's still projected to hit the southern Florida coast here around Sunday morning. Current wind speeds are sustained at 175 miles per hour with gusts up to 215 miles per hour. Category 5 once again for Irma. She is headed in a west-northwest direction at about 16 miles per hour with pressure around 27.73 inches there, or 939 MB. As far as earthquake activity goes, they did have a 6.1 earthquake in the Japan region, or south of Japan there. You can see it on the earthquake 3D globe. Rather deep as well. Pretty interesting earthquake activity right there. That was actually about 448 kilometers below the surface, that 6.1 was. So definitely some deep earthquake activity going over there earlier today. Here's a map of the the globe for the most part laid out. You can see quite a bit of earthquake activity. This here is a 7 days magnitude 2.5 and above. The 6.1 that occurred earlier today is this earthquake right here. And you can see the depth at 448 kilometers. I wanted to zoom back in on the continental US and show you guys continued earthquake activity in the state of Idaho. And the Montana earthquakes up there was from a couple days ago. They haven't seen an increase up there, but earthquake activity continues here in the southeastern portion of Idaho. Looks like 4.1 there, being the largest here within the past few hours. A couple twos in there as well. It looks as though the activity is dying down a little bit within the Idaho region, which is a good thing because they've had quite a bit of earthquake activity. 178 earthquakes. That's just the 2.5s and above, and I'm sure they've had many ones and whatnot, so probably can double that number. Around 300 earthquakes within this Soda Springs, Idaho region. So it's good to see this area die down, and hopefully she'll remain quiet there. Getting over here to Hurricane Irma, Category 5 hurricane, like I said, 75 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 215 miles per hour. Unbelievable. Once again headed in a west-northwest direction directly towards Florida. Here's a timeline laid out by AccuWeather. About 8 a.m. Sunday is when we're looking at landfall at a Category 4 hurricane for the southern portion of Florida. Miami now is going to take a pretty good hit from this. Now that's just, it's still a couple days out. This thing could strengthen or it could weaken, but right now they're predicting it to be a Category 4 when it reaches land in Florida at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So if you are within that area, it's going to be pretty crazy. A whole lot of wind. And checking out this beautiful image of Hurricane Irma, the most recent one by NOAA. Still got a pretty well-defined eye, and heading over to some islands right now, doing some major damage when it does. But absolutely beautiful eye and well-defined. I'm going to show you guys the projected path that this thing is supposed to take now. These change from, I don't know, hour to hour it seems like. But right now the projected path of this thing, once again, this here says Sunday 12Z, which is going to be right around 8 a.m. local time there on Sunday. Shows this thing taking a path of pretty scariness right there. This model, GFS model, shows it just right off to the eastern side. But like I say, this could change. I've seen a couple other models putting it just a little bit more to the west. Updated one right now shows it right over the area, southeastern Florida, Miami region. So definitely going to be a strong storm headed through that region right there. Also another earthquake we're watching down here for development. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but it's just a interesting event unfolding to see exactly the path that this thing is going to take. Like I say, it's possible this thing could change within the next day. That's why these guys are always updating their forecasts and whatnot and their models. But most of the computer models agree or in agreement with the landfall over here along the southeastern coast here around Miami, and then scooting up north here towards North Carolina and whatnot before weakening further. I think these guys put it at a hurricane or level 3 over there once it gets north of the Florida coastline, and then 1 once it gets towards North Carolina. Either way, it's going to be a wet and windy weekend over there along the state of Florida. Pretty crazy. But we will cover more on that once it gets a little bit closer, and if anything changes in the forecast. The rest of the globe out here, a little bit of activity down along the Fiji Islands again. Some deep earthquakes there. Actually quite a bit of deep earthquake activity. At a 4.1, a little bit earlier than that 6.1 right there that they had around Japan. So some definitely deep movement along the western portion of the Pacific plate, southwestern as well. Mostly quiet though for the most part aside from that activity. I haven't checked the slow slip movement yet today. Meant to do that. This is from the 6th, so this is yesterday's data. As you know, we've had a little bit of activity in northwest California. Now it looks as though southern Oregon's getting a little bit of slow slip movement, and the area northwest of Seattle seeing a little bit of slow slip movement as well. But of course, once again, we got this area in between those regions where we don't really see a whole lot of slip. That's just more pressure being applied in an already tight area. So keep checking back, guys. We will make an earthquake video update if we need to in regards to any changes to the forecast of Hurricane Irma. Right now we're looking at about Sunday 8 a.m. for landfall around the southern portion of Florida, Miami region. A lot of people over there. Highly populated area, and I know a lot of storm chasers are headed over there for the big show. It's gonna be scary over there, folks, so we just gotta bear with it and hopefully just wish for the best. And as time gets a little bit closer, we will cover the hurricane in a little bit more detail. X-class flares within the past 24 hours. Looks like they had another 1.3 X flare. That would make 3 X flares here within the past couple days from the sunspots over there. Pretty active right now. They're predicting the 5 G1 for September 7th and also G3 storms on September 8th and 9th. Still a probability of a 50%, with a 50% chance of another X flare occurring. and M class flares at 75. So we could see some more activity here sometime soon. So keep checking back. We do have the live stream up and running, and come on by, say hi. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said about the live stream in Yellowstone, I'm gonna try and bring it back up, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to today. I think they got some type of, I don't know if they have a time frame on it or not, but I'll check on that, guys, and get back with you. So hope everyone has a good day out there, and we'll catch you all later.